All right, so our project-based learning is going to be What's Your Story? And so it is for the second grade level and it focuses on the language arts subject. And the learning goal for this will be to practice word use and comprehension by writing to express ideas and information. So basically with this project, students will go around taking pictures of the community that they feel tells a story. And then for each picture, they'll add a little informational text below it to explain it. And that just helps them work on their writing. And this format will either be with story map or a brochure.
Hi, so PBL engages students and increases their cognition. Just 1 second, sorry. Traditional teaching methods are not preparing students for life beyond the classroom. For example, just providing students with direct instruction will not improve their teamwork or problem solving. Therefore, us teachers, we're using PBL, which stands for project-based learning, to help with this issue. PBL is a teaching method that helps students improve their critical thinking, collaboration, communication skills, and creativity. Okay, so PBL engages students because it requires critical thinking, as I mentioned previously, communication skills, meaning that students not only have to remember the information provided, but use their thinking skills and teamwork with other students as a team. This will engage students by motivating them to further their understanding and on how to solve the problem that is meaningful to them. Another way that it engages students is that there has been research that has been shown that students have cultivated a need-to-know attitude, which has been encouraging them to apply their learning to current or most relevant situations, expanding their understanding. And PBL overall increases cognition by providing students with motivation, which gives them a reason to want to learn and engage in the classroom.
The what?
Click on the screen and press it.
Yeah, okay, all right. So for Bloom's taxonomy, how this applies to this project, for the first level of Bloom's taxonomy, it's remember. And so students will have to identify the challenge to get to know their community and the history that surrounds it through taking meaningful photos of their community. The next level is understand. So the kids will need to learn how to take meaningful photos through asking professional photographers questions and interviewing them, and they'll be using their listening skills and also their speaking skills to ask the questions. Then the students will apply and they will think about meaningful places in their community where they can take their photos, and they will begin to explore those areas and take photos.
The next step is going to be for them to analyze. So in this step, students will review the photos that they took and receive feedback from the photographers they interviewed on the photos to make sure everything is as they want it to be and if they need to change anything, and from their peers about whether their photos accurately represent their community or not. The next step is to evaluate. This is where kids will begin to form their opinions and explanations of the photos and start to think about writing informational texts that are going to accompany the photos. And then finally is where they'll actually create their project, whether it be in brochure or story map form. They're going to compile all the photos and the informational captions they wrote and create something that can be uploaded online or printed out to complete the process.
And as for the rationale or justification of their learning, one of the things, or the 4 things that we want our students to be able to walk away from second grade with is a developed skill for reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And for reading, students will be having to research various photographers when they're beginning their project, and they are going to have to understand what best will demonstrate their community when figuring out what pictures they're going to take. So they're going to have to do some research with that. For writing, they're going to have to be taking notes while they're conducting their interviews with the photographers, as well as in the final presentation of their project, whether that be in their brochure, story map, PowerPoint, whatever that may be. For speaking, the students will demonstrate their learning and practice of speaking through interviewing the photographers about composition, and they'll need to prepare questions beforehand and practice speaking in a professional manner that will get them the information they need. And lastly, for listening, their practice of listening will also be displayed throughout the interview process due to the fact that they'll need to comprehend what their interviewee is saying and be able to reflect what they learned when presenting their project. Thank you.